Level 1. Prospect. The scratchy wool of a cheap black sweater chafes your skinny teenage neck. You are a prospect, an unpaid intern begging for an entry-level position in the neighborhood's most ruthless corporation. You are not a member yet. You are strictly in the observation phase. You hang around the edges of the concrete basketball courts. You run the mundane errands. You fetch the blunt wraps in the fast food. You serve as the early warning system. You stand on the curb for 12 hours a day, watching for unmarked police cruisers. You study the nation's manifesto from a crumpled, faded photocopy in your bedroom. You try to memorize the prayers and the rigid organizational history. You just want protection. You want the family structure you don't have in your empty apartment. A rival crew rolls slowly past the corner, firing shots into the air. The ranking officer shoves a heavy, recently fired pistol into your school backpack. He tells you to dispose of the liability. If you refuse, you are banished from the block and branded a coward. If you get caught by the flashing lights, you take the juvenile weapons charge without saying a single word to the detectives. You swallow the hard lump in your throat. You grip the nylon straps of your backpack. You walk quietly into the dark alley. You accept the initiation. Level 2. Soldier. The metallic taste of fear sits heavy on your tongue as the winter wind cuts through your new black and gold jacket. You are a soldier, an official employee on the lowest rung of the corporate ladder. You handle the street-level retail distribution. You move the product. You collect the cash. You watch the shadows for rival colors. There is a strict chain of command. You memorize the deeper laws of the Constitution. You strive to be 360 degrees, fully enlightened in the Kingism philosophy. Your daily grind is pure survival and quota fulfillment. A rival crew encroaches on your territory and threatens your revenue stream. You face your first real performance review. You can run away and lose your crown. Or you can pull the heavy steel blade from your pocket to protect the company's market share. You choose the blade. You leave a man bleeding on the concrete. You earn your stripes. You survive another shift. Level 3. Treasurer. The smell of cheap ink and stale sweat on crumpled bills fills your cramped, windowless back office. You are the treasurer. You have been promoted to middle management. You handle the chapter's revenue streams. You collect the weekly dues from the soldiers. You balance the books. You launder the street cash through legitimate front businesses. This is corporate accounting with a constant threat of violence. You tally the profits. You secure the emergency bail funds. You manage the financial spreadsheets. You find a discrepancy during an internal audit. A young soldier is short on his weekly quota. He looks at his shaking hands and tells you his mother is facing eviction. You know the strict penalty for holding back company money. It is a severe physical violation. You must maintain fiscal discipline. You nod to the guards. You order the beating. You listen to the dull thuds from the next room. Your empathy is dead. Level 4. Enforcer. The cold, dense weight of a revolver presses against your lower back as you crack your scarred knuckles. You are the enforcer. You are the human resources department. You maintain internal discipline. You ensure total compliance with the Constitution. You patrol the territory. You hand out violations to those who break protocol. Sometimes it is a heavy financial fine. Sometimes it is a 5-minute physical assault by 5 brothers. You walk into the weekly chapter meeting. The room goes dead quiet. You spot a member who failed to attend a mandatory rally. You approach him. You grab him by the collar. You drag him to the center of the circle. This man was your childhood friend. You played baseball together in the dirt lots before the gang. Now he is a liability to the corporate structure. You deliver the first brutal blow to his jaw. You do not hesitate. You don't feel guilty. You feel absolutely nothing. You are the blunt instrument of company policy. Level 5. Cacique. The bitter sip of lukewarm black coffee scalds your throat as you sit in a desolate diner at 3 a.m. You are the cacique. You are the vice president. You are the ultimate shield for the boss. You manage executive operations. You insulate the top from the bottom. You filter the incoming intelligence. You assign the heavy, high-risk tasks. You negotiate with rival syndicates over supply lines and territory. You make executive risk management decisions. The federal agents are circling. They are building a massive RICO case against the chapter. You need a full guy to protect the upper management. You review the personnel roster. You select a loyal, naive soldier who just had his first child. You manipulate the evidence. You set him up to take the trafficking charge. You smile at him in the visiting room. You promise his family will be heavily compensated out of the corporate fund. It is a lie. You sacrifice a pawn to protect the king. You sleep with one eye open. Level 6, Inca. The suffocating silence of your sterile penthouse apartment deafens you. You are the Inca. You are the chairman of the board. You wear the first crown. You dictate the overarching strategy of the entire chapter. You manage the macroeconomics. You negotiate bulk supply chains with foreign cartels. You authorize the highest level hits. Everyone smiles at you. No one tells you the truth. Paranoia is a disease rotting your brain. You trust absolutely no one. You see assassins in your peripheral vision. You find a sophisticated listening device taped under your mahogany dining table. Your cacique placed it there. Your most trusted vice president is cooperating with the feds to save himself. You make the final executive decision. You order his immediate execution. You sign your best friend's death warrant with a steady hand. You are completely alone. The crown is a crushing invisible weight. The wooden gavel slams down in the courtroom like a heavy coffin lid. You receive a mandatory federal life sentence without the possibility of parole. You are stripped of your tailored suits. You are locked inside a concrete cage. The machine does not stop. Back on your old neighborhood corner, a skinny teenager in a scratchy black sweater stands under the buzzing streetlight. He runs the errands. He tastes the metallic fear on his tongue. He takes your exact place. He is the new level 1. The cycle resets itself. You are a ghost. You gave your entire life to a corporation that will forget your name before morning.